Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. We're back again here in Pokemon Blue at the Indigo Plateau. We're on the train, the grind train, grinding for money and prizes. We have turn 1 rest. Excellent, excellent thing to see. Thank you, Lorelei. Please don't crit it and kill it. Wonderful. A most auspicious of starts. We are here for one thing, and for one thing only. It's getting money. We need a whole hell of a lot of money to do what we want to do. Alright, Spike Cannon. Not the worst thing to see. I'll take Spike Cannon. Right now we're grinding for money to buy performance-enhancing drugs. I think he got the max roll on that, too. Yep, 5 times. Wonderful. Always a lovely thing to see. There's a critical hit on that Cloyster. Let's see what the Slowbro does. We want to see it use Withdraw. I want to take some money out of the bank. Water Gun. It's singular attack. Oof. Oof. Did not want to see Growl there. So, because our attack is dropped, we cannot cleanly one-shot this Jinx with Payday. If our attack was not affected at all, we could one-shot this Jinx with Payday. But alas, we are too weak at level 100. It's a sad state of affairs, so we'll have to use Slash to bring it down in one hit. We do not want to give either the Jinx or the Lapras the chance to act. Jinx has Ice Punch, Lapras has Blizzard. Those can both freeze us if we give them the chance. We have some Ice Heals, just in case something bad happens. But I would prefer for something bad to not happen. That would be the optimal outcome, I think. For bad things to just not happen. So a little bit suboptimal on that Lorelei fight. It's not too much of a problem. We can make up those lost opportunities to use Paydays. Or lost opportunities to use Payday. By tense agreements. Getting a little wonky in that sentence, but we saved it. And we have Bruno. So the goal is to, right now, get money, so we can buy stat-boosting items, so we can apply them to our Pokemon that we want to take into Pokemon Stadium. That's the goal. That's the reason we're getting money every day. And those stat boosters, let me tell you, they are pricey. They're 9,800 a pop. And each team needs about 60 of each of them, roundabout. There's a thing with like EVs in this game where how many EVs you have affects how many stat boosters you can use, but these are not the team members that will be in that in those. We've already done all of our grinding. We are literally, at this point, only here for money. Yeah, if you want to take a look, I've been doing this for like 170 hours at this point. Or that's the in-game time. I beat the game, I think, around at 25. So it's been literal months of doing nothing but this. And you know, I suppose I could have just duped a bunch of items using exploits. But I didn't want to, because in my hubris, I thought it wouldn't be that big of a deal. Well, it looks like past me was wrong about that. But you know what? We're here, we're chilling. We are probably slowly going insane. Hopefully it'll all be worth it. I mean, of course, the cherry on top of all this would be, oh, all the movesets and the Pokemon I got, they all actually suck. They can't actually beat Stadium, but I don't think that'll happen. You can beat it with rentals. And rentals, by and large, not too great in Stadium, so hopefully. Hopefully things won't go too badly. Yeah, I've more or less gotten these fights down to, yeah, it's really bizarre. They have, Stadium, you know, in the Switch Online expansion pack. They have the Game Boy games, I think, either out now or coming out. But they don't have connectivity between them. Or even connectivity with home. Which I would think that's something they'd want to do. Fortunately for us, that's not going to be a problem. We're playing on a an overclocked Game Boy, and then later an overclocked Nintendo 64. Yeah, not looking forward to, like, years from now when I'm done with this, even considering doing Stadium 2. I might someday. That's gonna be a long time from now, though, if that ever happens. Let's see. Yes, we're going on to Lance. Gotta remember where we are. And honestly, I feel like the appeal of the Stadium games, at least at the time, was seeing these, you know, 8-bit Pokemon you've caught and raised and trained, making their debut in glorious 3D, when that's kind of been the standard since Gen 6. And they had the animated sprites in, like the fully animated sprites, I think, in Gen 5. But nowadays, that's not really much of a, not really much of a thing. Oh, they're in 3D. Well, yes, they are in 3D. What's your point? Back then it was a, you know, it was a big deal seeing all these things in 3D. The lovely, lovely early polygonal 3D of the Nintendo 64. They do at least have the minigames. Ooh, there's a crit. In the Switch Online release. Which, I mean, I guess, you know, that's something. That's something you have. You would think, though, they'd want to figure out how to get the transfers to work before releasing that, though. Honestly, they were probably just too busy celebrating getting the license for GoldenEye. I think it's like tied up between like 3 separate companies. You know, you've got Nintendo, where it originally released. You've got Rare, who's owned by Microsoft now, and then you've got the movie production company. So they were probably just so hyped that they finally got that all figured out. They forgot, oh crap, we're supposed to get transfers for Pokemon Stadium ready. Damn it. That's my theory. I'm wondering too if we'll ever see Perfect Dark. That would be nice to see, I think. The nice thing about Perfect Dark is it also actually has the AI-controlled bots you can play offline multiplayer with. So you don't have to have like everyone's friend code to play with them. Just set up a bot match. I mean, it's not playing with other people, but you know, it's something. It is, in fact, something. That's probably a lot less likely than GoldenEye is. Well, I mean, I shouldn't say GoldenEye is not very likely now, it actually happened. Anyways, moving on to the big guy himself for the first time today. We shall be returning again, but for now. We want to see if Big Guy will be ever so kind as to open up with Mirror Move on his Pidgeot, so we get a free payday. And it does actually add to your total. I have done this enough where, I know. Believe me. Alright, that is Sky Attack. Oh well. It's a 1 in 4 chance. You know, it's an extra 122 Pokebucks, but, you know, it adds up. Over 170 some odd hours, it adds up. Hopefully we will see the end of this run of blue before 200 hours passes. I think we will. We're almost done getting our money for stat boosters. We actually only have one more team left where we can apply them. I can English, I promise. Alright, so we'll go ahead and slash all the way home for these last 3 Pokemon. And we're not switching. We are not switching. We are, in fact, using Slash. Yeah, we've got most of the stat boosters we need, though. We do actually have most of the stat boosters we need. We just need to get our Pika Cup team ready on that front. Do a little bit more grinding to buy some TMs from the Celadon department store and the Game Corner. And then we'll be set. Just going to fast forward through these credits. We have seen them so many times before. Right now we're sitting at 44 calcium, 46 iron, 34 carbos, 48 protein, and 60 HP ups. So, we are getting there. We are, in fact, getting there. And basically all the stat boosters do, they give you extra EVs, essentially. They give you extra EVs that you don't get through just grinding. Which, granted, it's not going to be a huge advantage. We could probably go in like as is and be okay. But you know, if it's worth preparing for, it's worth over-preparing for, right? Of course, they're always giving the same old speech. As if we're fresh-faced, walking into the Elite Four for the first time, every time. I mean, that there is dedication. There's a crit on that Dugong. Not the best outcome, but I suppose it's not the worst. See what Cloyster decides to do. Will we see Supersonic? Will we get the attack drop? Nope. And we either want no attack drops or a whole bunch of attack drops. Okay. None so far. We'll see what this Slowbro has in store for us. Well, that's a crit. Alright, fail from Growl. Not too bad. Another crit, just for safety, I guess. Local Cat just cannot stop killing. So this Jinx should go down 1 payday. Lovely. And then the Lapras. Pretty decent Pokemon, actually. Learns a lot of really useful stuff by level up. Learns Body Slam, Ice Beam, I think Blizzard. Of course it can learn Surf. I think it also learns Hydro Pump if you want to go that route. It's got a Confuse Ray and or Sing, which are not bad moves to have. Some actually well thought out movesets in Gen 1 Pokemon. As opposed to like Rhydon and Sandslash, who are ground types with no ground type moves. But they mostly learn normal type stuff. I think Sandslash has like Poison Sting or something like that. You know, just in case you want to take on the two, I guess technically three, non-poison grass-type Pokemon. If you want your coverage move for those three bonds. The Tangela or the Executor line. Good old Hitmonchan here has a whole host of elemental punches. We don't want to mess with these elemental punches. They're nasty. So we will kindly refuse his generous offer of getting punched in the face with electricity, or fire, or ice. Just give him a slash. Hitmonlee, we're throwing money at. You get the coinage. Yes, I think after we're done with the stadium, we're taking a break from Pokemon. we are taking a break from Pokemon, possibly from RPGs in general. We'll see. I've got actually got something else in the pipe exclusively for YouTube. So I think it'll work better on that platform. But in terms of streams, I'm not sure what I want to do yet. Still got to get through this. Right, Fissure, not too bad. He will never hit us. We are much too fast. Definitely something shorter, though. Definitely something shorter and sweeter. Little palate cleanser from RPGs. Maybe I'll return to Ace Combat or something. Wouldn't that be fun? A big old stupid plane game. It's a half flight simulator, half telenovela. I guess actually, this is the second RPG we've done in a row. We finished up Shadowrun months ago. I think like last August. Seems like a lifetime. That's when I decided, you know what, I need another long game. Let's play Mountain Blade Warband. Conquer the whole world in that game. That might take literal multiple years. Or mess around with one of the various mods for that game. There's no shortage of them. No shortage at all. And we'll fly, hit. We'll fly, hit. Wonderful, it hit. It's not 100% accurate. I mean, very few moves actually are, only Switch, I think, is. But it doesn't have the 100 accuracy stat, I think it's like 90 or 95 or something. So that can miss, and you can get Toxic. Or Confuse Ray. Not so much fun. Not so much fun. I don't know, if I wanna cleanse my palate from doing like RPGs, what's like the fundamental, like spiritual opposite of an RPG? I don't want to say like an FPS. I don't know. Don't really think of game genres in that kind of context, usually. Like, what is the opposite of this genre? Really is a bizarre question. I'll have to look through my my catalog, I guess. I do have some ideas. Some stuff I do want to do. Determining order and feasibility. Feasibility, I think, is going to be a big question. Like, how can I get it set up to do it? There's the Hyper Potion? I know this, it's not going to be more Pokemon. That's for certain. It's like an arcade kind of thing. Like an arcadey kind of game. No long-term commitment, just grinding for high scores for a little bit. Until I get tired of it. The moment I feel like an ounce of burnout, nope, done. I suppose the nice thing with like an arcade kind of game is you could feasibly come back at any time I want. Or I could feasibly come back at any time, really. Pick it up as needed. There's no like continuity to the storyline or something like that. Play it for a bit. Hop off for a few months and then come back. It's an idea. I suppose it's kind of filler though. Now we're fine. We don't need to heal up. It's nice and disposable, arcadey kind of games. There's one in particular that recently kind of caught my fancy. It's called Switch and Shoot. It's kind of a side-scrolling, like, shoot 'em up. It's like a vertical scrolling one. And there's only one button. It's the fire button. But the thing is, your ship automatically moves from, I think it's starting from the left to the right. And whenever you fire, your ship goes the other way, so from right to left. So you basically use your fire button to fire and also to turn. Having a lot of fun with that one. Might stream that at some point. But the aspect ratio on that is going to be kind of borked if I ever do. It's very much meant for more vertically oriented displays. I know it's got like some artwork on the sides though to kind of letterbox it, but you know, that might be better on the bitrate too, actually, now that I think about it. Might be a sneaky little way to get around, Oh, do I have enough bitrate? Just make the side static images have like a little strip in the middle where the gameplay actually is. There's an idea. Just do some palette cleansing, some arcade action. Not too many streams of that at a time, though. I don't think. Like one week's worth max, I would think. Maybe not limit for that. With that, we are through our second run of the Elite Four today. I think we'll end up doing 4 total. And buy some items. not Saffron. Game ate my input. It's always that 2 down to get to the Elite Four. I don't know why Saffron is the last, like, location in that cycle. It's not the last place you visit. Not even close, I would think. I mean, you visit it long before Cinnabar. I think most people go to it before even, like, Fuchsia? Yeah, Fuchsia. 172.06. And counting. I also want to try to not do, not try to do anything that's too terribly obvious. In terms of content. Like, I don't think I will ever do Minecraft. I have never played it. I don't own it. Not gonna happen. Ooh, turn 1 rest. Nice. Or like Battle Royale stuff. Not interested really in multiplayer. Or at least in PvP. Maybe at some point, get some friends together, do some co-op. I Divine Cybermancy might be funny. Just seeing people's reaction to that. Basically just Deus Ex on crack. It's Deus Ex with a... You're really getting 5 again. Damn, dude. Deus Ex with a healthy, healthy helping of Eurojank. And a little bit of a sloppy translation. Always a fun time. And there's Growl. Lovely. Super Potion? Super Potion. There we go. A few more hits of Payday from this. Another Super Potion. I don't know if that's going to be enough. It is. Alright, she's out of Super Potions. It's kind of bonkers, though. An Elite Four member is using Super Potions. Not Hyper Potions. Not Full Restores. Super Potions. Definitely some jank going on here. Genwun definitely, I think, qualifies as janky. Honestly, if it hadn't hit it big, I think people would say, yeah, Pokemon, janky. Janky as hell. You know, if it hadn't become the multimedia behemoth that it ended up becoming. You know, if it stopped at, I don't know, maybe Gen 2. We look back on it as like a little cult classic. Janky cult classic. There's some timeline where that happened. There definitely exists some timeline where that happened. Not sure if that's better or worse. It's always an interesting thought experiment, too. Like, you have a franchise, right? When should it stop? Or perhaps, when should it have stopped? So, I mean, the assumption with, like any sort of multimedia series, right? Is that you want it to keep going on forever, to keep making more money, because, you know, it's a business. But artistically, you know, you can't just keep making something over and over. And you can only really iterate so much before it becomes stale. So at what point do you stop? At what point do you say, alright, we've done it, we've got it as good as it's ever going to be, let it lie. Personally, with Pokemon, I think maybe Gen 4, Gen 5. Somewhere in that ballpark. Wait, no, that's the wrong Pokemon. We want you out front. And Mercury can't do terribly much against Agatha's Pokemon. So I feel like with the physical special split, and maybe some of the additions in Gen 5, that's a nice little bookend too, I think, with Gen 5, where it's like, alright, we're doing a whole new Pokedex, 150 new Pokemon. That's like a little bookend. You start with just 150 or 151, you end with just 150 or 151. It's like symmetrical. Yeah, I think maybe the first part of Gen 5 should have been where they decided, you know what, we had a good run. We had a good run. Time to do something new. And of course, you know, I don't think the fans would have liked it. But we're not talking about this for them. It's a funny thing, like the fans and the business as well, they always want more, right? Like there will never ever be enough of any like sort of, I guess, art to satisfy like a fan. They're always going to want more. And on the business side, if it's, you know, a successful property, they're always going to want more. They're always going to want it to make more money. Yeah, I definitely feel like that was the peak. Plus, I do really like the Gen 5 sprite work. A little biased in favor of that versus the 3D. Kind of a weird transition too, because like the push for like making everything 3D, it's all 3D now. That was the 90s. That was like the big push then. All of a sudden, oh, now Pokemon's 3D. Like the mainline Pokemon are all 3D now. Oh, okay. 20 years late to the party there. Saw another interesting article, I think, a few months ago at this point. It's basically a thought experiment. What if Pokemon came out on the Game Gear? The Sega Game Gear. Can you imagine Pokemon Stadium on the Dreamcast instead of the 64? Having online, like, Pokemon battles. On the Dreamcast in 1999. I think the Dreamcast always kind of lent itself to thought experiments. It's like the JFK of video game consoles. Killed very early on in its career. It's kind of acquired this sort of mystique about it. You know, not that... Well, actually, you know, if Pokemon... If any franchise could have saved the Dreamcast, it might have been Pokemon. To be fair. If there were any franchise that could save the Sega Dreamcast, it would have been probably Pokemon. Or maybe Halo if the Xbox never came to be. Man, that would be a fucking trip. Halo and Pokemon on the Dreamcast. I think the Dreamcast 2 is one of the last consoles to have like mouse and keyboard support. It's a weird thing that happened too, like in the late 90s on like the PlayStation and the Dreamcast, where you actually had like mouse and keyboard peripherals on the console. So like the whole debate of mouse and keyboard versus controller, there was no debate. You could use mouse and keyboard to play Quake 3 or Unreal Tournament on the Dreamcast. There was no debate to be had. You could just do it. And that sounds like a great timeline on it. A great timeline, honestly. A one timeline where Sega won the console wars. Still no mirror move. Well, you'll get one more chance after this next run. Or during this next run, I should say. But alas, I think the failure of the Sega Saturn was just too much for the Dreamcast to bear. I mean, there would have been, I think, so many things that had gone differently for the Dreamcast to really be a success. Like, you'd need, I think, the Saturn to have not even really succeed, but just not failed so badly. And then I think probably would have been better off if 3DFX, there hadn't been a falling out between 3DFX and Sega. If they had gone with, you know, their prototype Dreamcast instead of the Japanese one. I mean, I think the ultimate nail in the coffin for Sega was the Xbox. Because you could make an argument, because Sony won that generation. They won, you know, the 6th generation of consoles. No question. And really, Nintendo and Microsoft were just kind of hanging on at that point. Neither really in any sort of trouble, where they would, you know, have a going concern where they might go out of business. But they definitely did not win that generation. But I think they each had enough market share to kind of hang on. 4 competitors at that point would have been too much. Somebody would have had to go. And the only realistic option, I think, for who else could have gone out then, would have been Microsoft. Or if they never went in the first place. Like, I don't see Nintendo, at that point, bowing out of the console wars. So I think it would have had to have been either Microsoft or Sega. Oh, the ease of piracy, too, on the Dreamcast, I don't think helped. I think people overstate it, but definitely did not help it shift consoles. Or help it shift games, I guess. It's my understanding that consoles are usually actually sold at a bit of a loss, and they make up the margins on game sales. That's my understanding of the business. It could be wrong, but... Oof, and there is Clamp. Lovely! Such a wonderful move. Always a pleasure seeing it. And Spike Cannon. We get another 5. There's 3. Only 3. I say only 3. It's a lower roll. Alright, I want you to use nothing but withdraw. Get your money out of the bank. Alright, fine, whatever. Whatever. I guess we just can't stop killing. Mercury just cannot pull his punches. It is impossible. It's alright though, we can at least get one off this Jinx. Pick up a little bit of lost ground. Don't switch. Not switch. Alright, and that's Lorelei down. You can go and clock out now. Yeah, just gonna do 4 today, I think. Very much want to try and pace myself. Not want to get burned out doing this. So close to the end. I know I keep saying it, but we really are. We are getting close. You know, I don't think it's going to take like another 3 months to finish Blue out. Unless something goes horribly, horribly wrong. You know, barring what's legally concerned, or what's legally considered an act of God. And before I've irreparably jinxed myself. I can words, I promise. Honest, I can. Right, so we got the Hitmonlee coming up. 1 payday for you. Generous coinage coming your way. Back to Sheridan. And then the Machamp. Oh, what could this lovely four-armed gentleman have in store for us on this last go today? Will he get a crit submission and make us faint? No, focus energy. Lovely. I love when the AI uses bugged moves. I believe it is fixed for Stadium, though. Not that we're taking advantage of it. I don't think we really have any Pokemon that are focused on crits aside from Mercury. But yeah, these 3 not going to be participating in cups. We'll probably end up doing like some free battle stuff with them, but nothing with cups. They're just here to get us some money. But I think it's only fair if we take them to free battle. Wing attack for you. These guys aren't getting stat boosters, though. We've been spending enough time grinding for those. We've been spending quite enough time doing that. So one more bite on this Arbok. And then we're using Fly. Hopefully we don't miss. It can happen. It has happened. We've actually managed a couple times to not get the crit on Slash with Mercury. Which, not critting on Persian with Slash, very rare occurrence indeed. Alright, so that's Agatha. Done for today. Take the long walk down the hallway to Lance. Lance, the only person in this building who has his own hallway. Poor big guy is just stuffed in Lance's broom closet with some spare statues he had. Alright, Slash for you. How many paydays will we get from the Dragonaires? Let's see. Hope for 3. 3 each would be nice. Okay, so we'll get 2 from this one. It's not the worst luck. It could go worse. I suppose something I could consider too at some point is actually having different games on different days. So we could possibly get 3 on this Dragonair. Nope, we got 2. Wonderful. I mean, that is a consideration. I could actually, play different games on different days and have a schedule and all that. At this point, not really something I want to commit to. I mean, this is a hobby. This is not my job. I mean, not that I don't want to try and put on, a decent enough presentation. That's a little bit out of my, little bit outside the effort I want to put in at the moment. May very well end up, doing like a schedule or something at some point. It's not happening yet, though. Not quite yet. Kind of at this point just trying to learn the ropes, I guess. Get some experience. Get my, 10,000 hours in. We don't need to heal up, I don't think. Do some learning, get some good. And maybe someday I'll be a true professional. I will become... Well, I'll never be an e-girl, but... I don't know. I will become marginally respected. And held in middling esteem. That's the goal. Middling esteem. I'll settle for that. Just trying to focus on learning one thing at a time. And that thing right now is not scheduling different games for different days. Right now it's something not even related to Twitch, honestly. Or not terribly related to Twitch. Go ahead and slash all the way home. have to do some long and hard thinking about what's next. You know, despite everything, this will not take forever. We cannot play Genwun forever. We do have to move on someday. It'll happen. It'll happen. You know, barring well, what I would consider a tragedy. Maybe you don't. Barring any abrupt, violent ends to, I don't know if I'd call this a career, but... Alright. So we have round about 139,000 Pokebucks. Fairly decent number. Fairly decent amount of money. Head over to Celadon. What do we want to buy today? What do we have the least amount of? I think Carbos? Carbos, yes. We'll buy some no, iron. No Carbos. We'll buy Carbos. I can read, I promise. Yeah, funny thing about Stadium 2 as well is how they kind of changed up the cups a little bit. So now I believe there's Poke Cup and Prime Cup, which are the same. Petit Cup now is basically level 5 only, with newly hatched Pokemon. Alright, we can afford 14 Carbos. That's all the money we've gotten today. Then I believe Stadium 2 has a cup dedicated to literally just using, like, a random team. Like, you get a random bunch of Pokemon, and then get told to basically try your best. Fingers crossed. So in theory, I would need to raise up fewer Pokemon. But by the same token, I believe the level curve on Gen 2 is a little... like, the experience curve is, I guess, worse, you would say. It's not as easy to level up in Gen 2 as far as I'm aware. But I would have less Pokemon to level up and to raise up. I would only need, for example, 3 teams, essentially. But that's for the far future, and future grinding is for next time. Until then, the grind train continues. No breaks.